Hello, this time I'm going to be talking about how to move around the server. Remember from last time that I talked about the working directory? Well, one of the things that we can do with that is the ls command. And what ls stands for is list segments. It's going to show you the contents of a directory. If you just use ls without any arguments, it's going to show you the contents of your working directory. So if you just logged into your account, then it's going to show you the contents of your home directory. If you're just starting out, your home directory might be empty. So why don't we give this a try, ls. My directory is a little cluttered, so please excuse the mess. Although hopefully you should see something, and that is the example reads here. And before I go further, actually, let me talk about these colors. So you're going to notice that these are different colors, and I'm not sure if this color coding is the same for other servers, but how it works here at least is that the blue indicates directories. So each of these is a directory that you could change into, for instance. Green is something that is executable. So let's say like a program or something that you could run. And then these white ones are usually just like plain text or things that are just meant to be read. They're not things that you could execute and change into, so they're just files. Now, I'm not sure actually what this highlighting means. I'm sure it means something important, but oh well. Anyway, so that's the look of my home directory. But I want to direct your attention to this right here. The example reads, you should have something like this downloaded already that came with this module. So you should have downloaded it and then put it onto your home directory, because that's what we're going to be messing around with this time around. So anyway, if you do see this, hopefully, if not, pause this and make sure you go get it, we can look inside of it. It turns out that ls can be used to look inside of directories, so we can give it as the argument the name of the directory we'd like to look inside of. So why don't we go ahead and do ls space example reads, and then just hit enter. And you're going to see these things pop up. So the red, these are compressed files, in this case, gzip. But anyway, these are reads, FASTQ files, forward and reverse. The R1 denotes forward reads, R2 is reverse. And what we did is we just looked inside of that directory. We didn't change into it, but we looked inside of it using ls to see what it contains. Okay, but what if we want to actually go inside of it? Well, we do have a command for that, and that's just called cd, short for change directory. So why don't we go ahead and just use that? It's pretty straightforward. Instead of using ls, I'm just using cd. Otherwise, you just fill it in. So just like that, and then you can hit enter. Okay, so now that we're inside of here, why don't we do another ls and pwd to confirm this. So ls, this time around, I see that my working directory is now example reads, and that I can see the reads after using ls. And if I use pwd, it's also going to show me where I'm located in respect to the root. Great. Well, now that this is all set, what if I want to move back into my home directory from where I am currently? I actually have several options to do that. The first thing I could do is use a relative file path. Now, there's this that we can do right here. These two periods, they're not actually periods, so they're like the tilde in the sense that they stand for something. In this case, when you do ... it means the directory right above me. So if I do cd space ... it's actually saying I'm moving, I want to look at, I want to refer to the directory above me. So if I'm in example reads, that would mean Air Jordan. Or wherever you're located right now, if this is your home directory, it should be referring back to your home directory. If you just use a single dot, what that's referring to is your working directory, just in case you want to know that. It can be useful sometimes, and we might get into that later. So anyway, why don't we give this a try? Just cd space ... Although before I hit enter, I want to mention that you can string this together multiple times, like this. And what that's saying is I want to go up 3 levels, not 1, because this would be go up a level, and then when you're in that directory, go up a second level from where that is, and then finally just go up to the last level. And you can actually go into a directory from here. So let's say there's a directory in, oh, let's see, where is this? 1, 2, 3, in home that I want to go into that's not genome. Well, I can still type it out here afterwards, and it would allow me to go into it. So you can kind of get pretty creative with these things and just string them together like that. But for what we're trying to do, I just want you to just do cd space ... and that will get you back into your home directory, like so. Now let's go ahead and change back into that example reads directory. Although what I'm going to do in this case is use a shortcut. So cd space dash. The dash is going to be like a backspace in a web browser. When you use it, it's referring to the thing you just changed out of. So if I use it like this and hit enter, it takes me right back to the last thing I was in. And also, as an added bonus, it's going to show you the absolute file path to what you just went into, which can be useful because sometimes you're not changing into something that's directly above or below. You're going to like totally different places, and this might just help you get your bearings again. So here we go. We went right back into that example reads directory, and now we can go ahead and try the second option, which is to use an absolute file path. Now, we're going to kind of use this as a hint because this is already an absolute file path. And instead of going into this full path, I kind of want to stop right here because that's the location to my home directory. Now this is going to look different for you because of course you're going to have a file path that's going to your home directory and not mine. So just look at these probably three things, these three directories, and that's the path you want to aim for that we're going to try next because we're going to be using cd for this again. Alright, so now I'm going to try using that absolute file path with cd. So I'm going to start with that, cd space / remember / indicates that you're starting at the root. So we're just going to go all the way up the top and start going down. Okay, so I'm typing home, but I'm going to just stop right here, HO. Now you're going to do a lot of typing when you're on this server, and you're probably going to wonder, is there any way to cut down on this? And yeah, there is actually. So we have something called autocomplete. What this is that you can ask the server if it can fill in the rest for you. It's going to guess based on where you're currently in and what you're typing. So right now I'm saying start at the root, and then I typed HO, and I want a CD. So the server can infer that, well, I want to change into a directory, and the first two letters are HO for that directory. So if there's only one directory that has HO for the beginning, it already knows that that's probably what I want to change into. So if I hit the tab key, that is the signal that I give to the server to try this. So now if I hit tab, it's going to autocomplete for me. So it's not that I'm typing blazingly fast, although I can type pretty fast. It's that this will go ahead and try and fill in the rest for you. So it said, all right, actually there is a directory with an HO, it's home, so I'm going to go ahead and fill that out for you. And also, as an added bonus, I'm just going to give you that / so you can just keep on typing. So that's pretty nifty. I encourage you to use this as much as possible because one of the most common problems that people run into is they make typos when they try and fill out a path, like a file path. So this will cut down on it because if you're not auto-completing, like if you keep hitting that tab furiously and nothing's popping up, it's probably because you made an error somewhere, like a typo, and it doesn't know what the heck you're talking about. Now I have one more thing I'd like to show, and to do that, let's use that little cd space dash trick to get back into that example reads. So we're changing back, we're using the backspace, so to speak. All right, so we're in here. Here's one last way we can move back into my home directory, or your home directory, whichever home directory. Well, actually, no, just yours. You can do this. So cd on its own, without any arguments, will get you back to your home directory. And this works no matter where you are, which is really useful because if you get lost, then you can just say, help me, and hit cd, enter, bam, you're back. So really useful thing to keep in mind. You could also do cd space tilde, and that sort of reinforces the concept that the tilde is an absolute file path pointing to your home directory, which is why it would work anywhere. But you don't need it, so if you want to save a few keystrokes, you can just use cd. So I'm going to go ahead and just type cd like this and hit enter. And as you can see, it brings me back to my home directory. So that's pretty nifty. Now you should be able to move around directories and look inside of them. But next time what I'm also going to show is how to move, copy, and delete files. So until next time.